Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to do Unit 15, and the focus is going to be in the reading completely. So this session, I'm going just to focus on the basic skills of the readings. There are 3 reading passages or 3 reading texts. Now, the first one, as you can see, our introduction here, usually Global English 8, Unit 15, Lesson 1, Grade 8, Level A students, and Grade 9, Level B students. In our lesson today, we are going to talk about, natural disasters. So, just put into your consideration that the whole unit is about, natural disasters, and we'll find out, a lot about different phenomena and different, natural disasters. And as you can see, the first title you see here, Dangerous Nature, course book page 120, page 101, workbook pages 88 and 89. Lesson objectives as usual, you see, reading, we're going to read about natural disasters, speaking, discussing natural disasters, and listening, we're going to listen to a news report, and finally writing, completing sentences. You're not going to write an essay, you're just going to complete a sentence or sentences. Language focus, the present perfect, active and passive form. And vocabulary. In vocabulary, you're going to, get in touch. You're going to practice these words: pressure, release, surface, fuel, source, overflow, melt, burst, break, epicenter, cool, which is verb, moist, crust, and burst. We'll find the... Okay, as usual, gentlemen, look at the question. Which natural disasters have been in the news recently? Nowadays, we know that, these days is, the outbreak of the COVID-19 coronavirus, which threatens the whole world. So which natural disasters like, we can say earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and so all these are wildfires, all these are, which natural disasters have been in the news recently? So I think, so recently we've, heard about the wildfires in Australia, right? And you can have your own, I'm quite sure. So natural disasters, disasters, catastrophes, things that might, affect the people's life. Nature having to do with the environment, having to do with the surroundings, and natural is the adjective form from the noun nature. Then, in the reading today, we're going to, first of all, I want you to go to page 100, I think 121, right? Yes. 120. Read these definitions. They will help you understand the text in exercise number 2. I just want you to go to the book 120, task number 1. Read the definitions. There are 10 words. The words that I have recently shown. They are vocabulary. You see the word, and its definition is just written. Pressure, for example, number 1, there is the word pressure. Pressure means the force pressing on something. That is number 1. 2, release, to allow to escape, release and release. If it is sound, then it's going to be the noun. It's the verb. Vibrations, fast and continuous shaking movements. Vibrations. Surface, the outside or top layer of something. That's the surface of the table. Fuel, a substance that produces heat or power when it is burned. Especially, giving energy and so on. Source, the origin or provider of something. Overflow, of a liquid, especially of a liquid, not able to be contained. Overflow, that means it spills and, pour around. Melt, change from a solid into liquid. When ice melts, it means it becomes, liquid, like water. Burst, breaks suddenly so that the contents come out. Epicenter, the area of land directly over the center of a an earthquake, okay? Now, I want you to go, after we know you've read these definitions, I want you to go to exercise number 2 or task number 2. And task number 2, read the text, choose a title for each paragraph. There are 4, paragraphs, and we've got 4 titles. We've got earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and wildfires. You see, earth, wind, fire, and water. There are 4 paragraphs. Paragraph number 1, 2, 3, 4. Quickly, from just the first 2 lines, you can decide which is the best title can be, selected for each paragraph. Look at number 1. These start over the warm ocean waters near the equator. Equator is a line, the line that, passes through the middle of Earth. Warm, moist air arises and then cools to form clouds. Cooler air moves in to replace the warm air, and it too becomes warm and rises. So, do you think that the best title for this paragraph is earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, or wildfires? Let me try that. The second one, look at the second one. The Earth's crust, its outer layer, is made up of moving plates. So immediately talking about Earth and inside and outside of the Earth. Is it wildfires, floods, hurricanes, earthquakes? Paragraph number 3. They can move at speeds of over 20 kilometers an hour, burning everything in their path. You've got the word burning, having to do with fire, right? So that's the key. Paragraph number 4. These occur or happen or take place when there is very heavy rain, causing rivers to overflow their banks. So that means overflow for liquid. Water overflows, it means goes beyond, the natural or normal level. So, okay, paragraph number 1. What's the best? Let's check together. Paragraph 1, the best answer or subtitle or a title to this one is hurricanes. Paragraph 2, earthquakes. Paragraph number 3, yes. Wildfires. And paragraph number 4, floods. Now, if you go to task number 3, you see there are 4 pictures. Choose an illustration for each paragraph of the text. Illustration, that means, drawings or charts or pictures, to give more explanation or detail about a topic. So here, please find which picture A, B, C, D. Which paragraph do you think picture A goes with? Look at the paragraph. I mean, look at the picture. It's very clear, isn't it? Does it go with paragraph number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Let's check together. Yeah, paragraph 1 goes with picture D, as you can see. Paragraph 2, and that is paragraph 2, goes with picture A. That's for earthquake. Paragraph number 3 goes with picture C, and by definition, paragraph 4 goes with B. Now we're going to practice listening. Oh, I'm sorry. Still, there is another task related to the text, or the 4 paragraphs. Find the final sentence for each paragraph in exercise number 2. There are 4 sentences to complete each paragraph. There is 1 remaining sentence. So, can you find the final sentence that suits or goes with which paragraph? The heat source can be lightning, a campfire, a match, and even the sun. So this is the final sentence of which paragraph? Which paragraph do you think is suitable for this one? The final sentence B. The energy is released in waves which are felt most strongly at the epicenter. So do you think Sentence C. This creates a circular movement of clouds and wind which becomes faster and faster, producing a massive storm. And D. Bridges, houses, trees and cars can be picked up and carried away. So let's check together now. Paragraph 1 goes with C, the sentence C. So if you can write it, paragraph 1, the completion is, or the sentence which is the final sentence of paragraph C. Paragraph 1 is C. C says, this creates a circular movement of clouds and wind which becomes faster and faster, producing a massive storm. Paragraph 2 goes with B, sentence B. Paragraph 3 goes with sentence A. Paragraph 4 goes with sentence D. And paragraph, that's it. Okay, so now we're going to the listening. Let's see. Listen to the news report. What kind of natural disasters does it describe? First of all, we need to define the natural disaster that is in the report. Can you tell from the rescue workers, the people who come to help, like paramedics and rescue workers, their accent, is it British, American, Canadian, Australian, New Zealand, where the disaster happened? So from their accent, we would like to know the place. Okay, we're going to practice listening quickly for Control Alt. So I think listening, 28, right? Listening 28. Yeah, we are here.
Track 28. I'm here in one of the support centres where people continue to arrive. They've lost their homes, their cars, and all their personal possessions. They come here for food, water, and, if they're lucky, some clean clothes. Thousands of homes have been destroyed, and almost 200 people have been killed. Remote villages in the outback have been hit the worst. I've just spoken to 2 volunteer firefighters, and here's what they told me.
We've worked flat out for 3 days now, trying to stop the blaze from spreading, but the wind has been so strong that it's spreading really quickly, and it's very difficult to control it.
I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's got to be the worst ever.
It all started on Friday, when the temperature was well above 40 degrees.
Okay, I hope you know that the listening script is working with you. So the question here, what natural disaster does it describe, this listening script or audio script? And where does it happen? So the answer, it describes a wildfire, and from their accent you can recognize that, the accent tells that it is in Australia. Okay, now use of English, present perfect, active and passive. We've come across this tense several times, either this year or last year, or even year before, or years before actually. Use of English, present perfect. Let's quickly go through this. We use the present perfect to talk about recent actions, experiences, and ongoing actions and situations, and sometimes you say unfinished past or things that happened just recently. In the present perfect form, usually with the active, we always use have and has plus the past participle form, and in the active we use has and have being in the past participle form. I think we've got here some examples, as you can see, active and passive. I have written 3 stories already, for example. You see the time indicator is already, I've written 3 stories. I, subject, have, helping verb of the tense present perfect, and written, that's the past participle of the verb write, wrote, written, the third form. 3 stories. Then the passive, if you want to take the passive, then we take the object of the active sentence is going to be the subject of the passive sentence, which is 3 stories have been written by me. So what we add here, we take the object and then it has become, the subject, and then with the agreement, subject-verb agreement, 3 stories have, then we add been, and then the third form, by me. You can write by me and you can ignore it, it's not necessary. So the focus here is in the, it is not necessary who does it, or it is not necessary to know. The second one, they have built a house recently. A house has been built by them. A house has been built recently. Another example, he has broken my window. My window has been broken. I don't know. So I don't know. It is not necessarily by him. You can just ignore it. Okay. Now, complete the sentences with the correct present perfect form of verbs in brackets. Number 1. That's task number 6. They is you need to decide either it is active or passive. Quickly, you've got 30 seconds for that. They dash here for food, water, and if they're lucky, some clean clothes. And so the verb you have in number 1 is come, right? 2, to 2 volunteer firefighters, you've got speak, I. Is it active or passive? Then you need to do the necessary changes. It depends on the sentence. Anything like this in my life, never see. Then you need to, 200 people dash kill. So is it active or passive? Remember, remote villages, the worst. Okay. All right. All right, number 1, have come, right? Number 2, I have spoken. 3, I have never seen. 4 and 5, I think these are the 2 sentences that tells about the passive. Have been killed and have been hit. Now I think you're going to go to the workbook, pages 88 and 89. Let's go quickly. Open 88, 89, 88 and 89. Remember, this week, in these videos, we are focusing on reading texts, okay? Workbook. Exercise number 1. Read the clues and write the words in the grid to reveal the mystery word. There's a mystery word here, okay? You see here like crossword puzzle. Read the force pressing on something. That is word number 1. And you do it, all of it, you do it, horizontally. You do it, cross, not down, okay? So that you can get, the mystery word. There is a row, a row pointing pointing down. Then you will find that word. I'll help you maybe with, I think, with the first 3 or 4 words. Let's check. Do the puzzle, the crossword puzzle to find the mystery word. There's a mystery word. When you finish doing this, then in the grid, then you get, the word. Okay, for number 1, for example, the force pressing on something, that is pressure. So you are going to write Pressure. That's for number 1. Now you get the first word of the mystery word, which is E, isn't it? Yes, it is E. The second word, a strong wall built across a river to stop the water from flowing. We've got a lot in Sudan, We've got a lot of this. 3 letters. I'll help you. The first letter is D. 3 letters. It is dam, isn't it? Yeah, it's dam. So now you got the second word of the mystery word, E-A. Word 3, where a river starts or where something comes from. Is it source? Origin? Let's check. Yeah, it is source. So now you write source on number 3, S-O-U-R. Then you've got E-A-R, 3 words. And 4, that's 4. I think we've got. I helped you with the first 4, definitions. Now I want you to complete that, okay. And now I want you to go to task number 2. Complete the text with the prepositions from the box. Yeah, you see here in prepositions we've got against, at is going to be used twice, in is going to be used twice, near, over and up. Wildfires can move dash speeds over 20 kilometers an hour. So which preposition is suitable for number one? Okay, have you chosen it? Have you selected? Okay, number one, at. So I think I usually help with the first 3 or 4 ones. They burn everything dash their path. Okay, which one do you think? In their path. Okay. Number 3, in an earthquake, the earth's plates press dash each other. Which preposition do you think is the suitable one for this? Against. I'm not sure. Yeah, 3. Complete the rest, please, until 8. And finally, read the news website report. Complete it using the present perfect, either passive only, passive of the verbs in brackets. Have you been affected by the flooding? Have you been affected by the flooding? So, that is the news report. And usually remember, present perfect is used in report, in news, usually in the news. Okay, so read the news website report, complete it using the present perfect passive of the verbs given in the brackets. So number 1, it's done for you. Some villages and small towns have been cut off by the flood water. This cause dash. So the verb here is cause. This, number 1, have been cut off. Number 2, has been caused. So passive, just use passive. Has been caused by heavy rain and by rivers. And then until you reach number 3, the village of Michelney in the south of England turned into. So what is that? Has been turned into. And finally, I think number 4, you see 4, has been turned into an island, 200 villages trapped. 200 villages. Has or have? Has been or have been? Has been or have been? It is have, been trapped, okay? So that is all for our lesson today. And I think, as I have mentioned at the beginning, we would like to focus in this unit, on reading only. So thank you. So the next video is going also to be reading, inshallah. Thank you.